welcome to Additional Sheet. In this video we will go through Kotlin Top 50 Multiple Choice Questions and Answers. Let's start our video. What is the primary purpose of Kotlin? Option A, Web Development. Option B, Mobile App Development. Option C, Data Analysis. Option D, Game Development. The correct answer is Option B, Mobile App Development. What is the keyword used to declare a variable in Kotlin? Option A, var. Option B, let. Option C, define. Option D, val. The correct answer is Option A, var. In Kotlin, what is the function of the run extension function? Option A, create a new thread. Option B, execute a block of code on a nullable object. Option C, run a loop. Option D, define a class. The correct answer is Option B, execute a block of code on a nullable object. What is the purpose of the apply function in Kotlin? Option A, create an instance of a class. Option B, modify the properties of an object. Option C, perform arithmetic operations. Option D, define a lambda function. The correct answer is Option B, modify the properties of an object. What is the difference between val and var in Kotlin? Option A, val is used for variables that can be reassigned, while var is for read-only variables. Option B, val is for read-only variables, while var is used for variables that can be reassigned. Option C, there is no difference, they can be used interchangeably. Option D, val is used for primitive types, while var is for reference types. The correct answer is Option B, val is for read-only variables, while var is used for variables that can be reassigned. What does the init block do in a Kotlin class? Option A, initialize a variable. Option B, define the main function. Option C, initialize the primary constructor. Option D, initialize the properties of a class. The correct answer is Option D, initialize the properties of a class. Which Kotlin keyword is used to declare an extension function? Option A, fun. Option B, ext. Option C, extend. Option D, funct. The correct answer is Option A, fun. What is the purpose of the when expression in Kotlin? Option A, define a loop. Option B, create a switch statement. Option C, declare a variable. Option D, perform typecasting. The correct answer is Option B, create a switch statement. What is the significance of the operator in Kotlin? Option A, ternary operator for conditional expressions. Option B, bitwise OR operator. Option C, Elvis operator for null safety. Option D, range operator. The correct answer is Option C, Elvis operator for null safety. How is a lambda expression defined in Kotlin? Option A, lambda. Option B, fun. Option C, LMBD. Option D, funct. The correct answer is Option A, lambda. What does the init block do in a Kotlin class? Option A, define the primary constructor. Option B, initialize the properties of a class. Option C, create an instance of a class. Option D, declare a nested class. The correct answer is option B, initialize the properties of a class. In Kotlin, what is the purpose of the lazy function? Option A, perform lazy initialization of a property. Option B, define a lambda expression. Option C, create an extension function. Option D, implement a coroutine. The correct answer is option A, perform lazy initialization of a property. What does the operator signify in Kotlin? Option A, logical not. Option B, safe call operator. Option C, else operator. Option D, force the conversion to a non-nullable type. The correct answer is option D, force the conversion to a non-nullable type. What is the purpose of the infix modifier in Kotlin? Option A, specify an infix function. Option B, declare a variable as infix. Option C, indicate a bitwise operation. Option D, define an interface. The correct answer is option A, specify an infix function. How is a sealed class different from a regular class in Kotlin? Option A, sealed classes cannot have properties. Option B, sealed classes cannot be instantiated directly. Option C, regular classes are final by default. Option D, regular classes cannot have subclasses. The correct answer is option B, sealed classes cannot be instantiated directly. What does the with function do in Kotlin? Option A, create a new instance of a class. Option B, apply a block of code to an object. Option C, perform a bitwise operation. Option D, implement a coroutine. The correct answer is option B, apply a block of code to an object. In Kotlin, what does the term coroutine refer to? Option A, a lightweight thread. Option B, a lambda expression. Option C, a type of exception. Option D, a type of loop. The correct answer is option A, a lightweight thread. What is the purpose of the as operator in Kotlin? Option A, typecasting with a safe cast. Option B, bitwise an operation. Option C, logical OR operation. Option D, range check. The correct answer is option A, typecasting with a safe cast. What does the cross-inline modifier indicate in a Kotlin function? Option A, the function has cross-platform compatibility. Option B, the function cannot be inlined. Option C, the function has cross-thread execution. Option D, the function cannot have a return statement. The correct answer is option B, the function cannot be inlined. Which Kotlin keyword is used to declare an abstract class? Option A, interface. Option B, abstract. Option C, class. Option D, open. The correct answer is option B, abstract. What is the purpose of the lieutenant modifier in Kotlin? Option A, delay the execution of a function. Option B, declare a nullable variable. Option C, indicate a late initialization of a property. Option D, define a lambda expression. The correct answer is option C, indicate a late initialization of a property. In Kotlin, what is the role of the invoke operator in a class? Option A, implement the function call operator. Option B, define a secondary constructor. Option C, create an instance of a class. Option D, declare a lambda expression. The correct answer is option A, implement the function call operator. What is the purpose of the let function in Kotlin? Option A, create a lambda expression. Option B, perform a safe call on an object. Option C, define a scope for a variable. Option D, apply a block of code to an object. The correct answer is option D, apply a block of code to an object. In Kotlin, what does the by lazy syntax indicate? Option A, creating a lazy loaded class. Option B, delegating a property initialization. Option C, implementing a lazy evaluation algorithm. Option D, declaring a lazy coroutine. The correct answer is option B, delegating a property initialization. What is the purpose of the tailrec modifier in Kotlin? Option A, specify a recursive function. Option B, enable tail call optimization. Option C, define a function with a trailing lambda. Option D, create a function with a tail parameter. The correct answer is option B, enable tail call optimization. Which keyword is used to declare an enum class in Kotlin? Option A, enum. Option B, class. Option C, object. Option D, enum class. The correct answer is option A, enum. In Kotlin, what does the in keyword indicate in a for loop? Option A, inclusive range. Option B, exclusive range. Option C, iterator syntax. Option D, index variable. The correct answer is option A, inclusive range. What is the purpose of the repeat function in Kotlin? Option A, create a repeating sequence. Option B, perform a loop with a specified count. Option C, define a recursive function. Option D, implement a coroutine. The correct answer is option B, perform a loop with a specified count. What does the add keyword refer to in Kotlin? Option A, an instance of a class. Option B, the current iteration variable in a loop. Option C, the implicit receiver in a lambda expression. Option D, the primary constructor parameter. The correct answer is option C, the implicit receiver in a lambda expression. What is the purpose of the first and second properties in Kotlin S-pair class? Option A, extract components of a tuple. Option B, define key value pairs. Option C, access elements of an array. Option D, specify generic type parameters. The correct answer is option A, extract components of a tuple. What is the purpose of the run blocking function in Kotlin S coroutines? Option A, execute a coroutine. Option B, run a blocking operation. Option C, create a new thread. Option D, define a lambda expression. The correct answer is option B, run a blocking operation. Which collection type in Kotlin allows both read and write operations and may have duplicate elements? Option A, set. Option B, list. Option C, map. Option D, mutable set. The correct answer is option D, mutable set. In Kotlin, what does the apply extension function do? Option A, execute a block of code on a nullable object. Option B, perform lazy initialization. Option C, configure the properties of an object. Option D, create a new instance of a class. The correct answer is option C, configure the properties of an object. Which keyword is used to declare a constant in Kotlin? Option A, final. Option B, static. Option C, const. Option D, val. The correct answer is option C, const. What is the purpose of the also extension function in Kotlin? Option A, apply a block of code to an object. Option B, perform lazy initialization. Option C, configure the properties of an object. Option D, execute a block of code on a nullable object. The correct answer is option A, apply a block of code to an object. What is the default visibility modifier in Kotlin for a class or interface? Option A, private. Option B, protected. Option C, internal. Option D, public. The correct answer is option D, public. Which Kotlin feature is used to create a delegate for a property? Option A, extension function. Option B, property initializer. Option C, delegated property. Option D, infix function. The correct answer is option C, delegated property. What is the purpose of the cross-inline modifier in a Kotlin lambda? Option A, specify cross-platform compatibility. Option B, enable tail call optimization. Option C, disallow non-local returns. Option D, implement a cross-thread execution. The correct answer is option C, disallow non-local returns. In Kotlin, what does the use function do with regards to resources like files or streams? Option A, close the resource after usage. Option B, create a new instance of the resource. Option C, read the content of the resource. Option D, define the resource's scope. The correct answer is option A, close the resource after usage. Which Kotlin feature is used to create a single expression function in a more concise way? Option A, extension function. Option B, lambda expression. Option C, single expression function. Option D, delegated property. The correct answer is option C, single expression function. What does the operator do in Kotlin? Option A, force unwrapping a nullable variable. Option B, make a variable nullable. Option C, indicate a safe cast. Option D, implement a logical NOT operation. The correct answer is option A, force unwrapping a nullable variable. In Kotlin, what is the purpose of the break statement in a loop? Option A, terminate the loop and resume with the next iteration. Option B, end the entire program execution. Option C, skip the current iteration and proceed to the next. Option D, halt the execution of the loop and exit. The correct answer is option D, halt the execution of the loop and exit. What is the significance of the this keyword in Kotlin? Option A, reference to the current class instance. Option B, reference to the outer class. Option C, reference to the superclass. Option D, alias for the current function. The correct answer is option A, reference to the current class instance. In Kotlin, what is the purpose of the until keyword in a range? Option A, create a half-open range excluding the end value. Option B, specify an inclusive range. Option C, define a step size for the range. Option D, indicate an exclusive range. The correct answer is option A, create a half-open range excluding the end value. What does the super keyword represent in Kotlin? Option A, reference to the current class instance. Option B, reference to the outer class. Option C, reference to the superclass. Option D, alias for the current function. The correct answer is option C, reference to the superclass. What is the purpose of the by keyword in Kotlin's delegated properties? Option A, define a lambda expression. Option B, specify the type of a variable. Option C, create a delegate for a property. Option D, indicate a bitwise an operation. The correct answer is option C, create a delegate for a property. In Kotlin, what is the role of the filter function in a collection? Option A, transform each element in the collection. Option B, remove elements based on a condition. Option C, combine elements into a single value. Option D, sort the elements in the collection. The correct answer is option B, remove elements based on a condition. What does the withIndex function do in Kotlin's collection iteration? Option A, iterate over the indices of a collection. Option B, provide the current element in its index. Option C, sort the elements in the collection. Option D, filter elements based on a condition. The correct answer is option B, provide the current element in its index. In Kotlin, what is the purpose of the Elvis operator? Option A, concatenate strings. Option B, perform a logical OR operation. Option C, ensure null safety in expressions. Option D, create a lambda expression. The correct answer is option C, ensure null safety in expressions. What does the when expression do in Kotlin? Option A, create a switch statement. Option B, define a loop. Option C, declare a lambda expression. Option D, perform typecasting. The correct answer is option A, create a switch statement. Thank you. Please visit Additional Sheet website.